The night sky over New Avalon shimmered like spilled ink and silver dust. The two moons hung low, painting the desert cliffs in ghostly light. Captain Elias Ward stood on the balcony of the Royal Observatory, watching the twin stars blink beyond the horizon. He wasn't a man of peace. He'd spent most of his life fighting the alien kingdoms of this planet, but tonight peace had a face. And it was hers. Princess Lyra of Thalen stood behind him, her silver hair flowing like liquid light. Her violet eyes reflected the moons as she approached, the scent of star jasmine trailing her steps. She was no ordinary being, half human, half Thalenian, a child of two worlds that had never known harmony. Yet somehow, she carried herself with a gentleness that silenced rooms. "You're leaving tomorrow," she said softly, her voice melodic, otherworldly. "Back to your people. Back to Earth." Elias turned, his gaze locking with hers. "That was the plan," he admitted. "But plans change." Lyra tilted her head. "Because of me. Because of what I feel," Elias said, stepping closer. "When I first came here, I thought your people were monsters. But then I met you. You taught me what peace could mean. What love could mean." Her lips trembled slightly, and she turned away. "Love isn't always enough, Elias." He took her hand, warm and soft, yet humming faintly with alien energy beneath the skin. "Then I'll make it enough. We'll stay. I'll stand between our worlds if I have to. I promise you, no matter what happens, I'll love you." A single tear rolled down her cheek, glowing faintly in the moonlight. "You must not make promises you can't keep," she whispered. The following day, the peace ceremony filled the grand hall of Thalen Palace. The banners of both races, human and Thalenian, hung side by side. Lyra stood on the dais beside Elias, her shimmering gown threaded with crystal light. To the crowds, they were the image of unity, a human captain and an alien princess bound by peace. Yet, as the High Chancellor of Thalen began the ancient chant, Lyra's gaze kept flicking to the horizon beyond the windows. The moons were dimming. The air crackled faintly with static. Elias noticed her trembling hand and leaned close. "What's wrong?" Her eyes widened slightly. "It's happening sooner than I thought." "What's happening?" Before she could answer, the palace trembled. A low hum filled the hall. The chandeliers flickered as though the stars themselves were faltering. Soldiers rushed to the windows. "Energy surge, coming from the southern ridge," one shouted. Lyra's expression hardened. "No, it's the core." Elias grabbed her arm. "What core?" "The heart of Thalen," she said. "It sustains our world. It's dying." The hall erupted into chaos. Leaders shouted commands, guards ran, and the shimmering peace banners caught fire from sparks raining down. But Lyra was calm. She turned to Elias, eyes full of sorrow. "This is what I wanted to tell you last night." "Tell me what?" he demanded. "That my people, we are not born naturally anymore," she said, her voice trembling. "We're sustained by the core's energy. Without it we fade. That's why I couldn't leave with you. My body, my life. It's tied to Thalen itself." Elias felt the world spin. "You mean if the core dies?" "I die too," she finished softly. They rode through the storm that evening, wind howling across the plains. The twin moons had dimmed to pale slivers. Bolts of blue lightning cracked the sky as they reached the southern ridge. Below them, the core chamber pulsed, a giant sphere of living light buried within the rock, flickering like a dying heartbeat. Lyra dismounted and walked toward the edge, the glow illuminating her face. "It's collapsing," she said. "If I merge with it, I can stabilize it for a time. By Thalen a few more centuries." Elias's blood ran cold. You're talking about sacrificing yourself. She turned to him, smiling faintly. Sometimes peace demands more than promises. He stepped forward, gripping her shoulders. No, we'll find another way. Your scientists, my team, someone will fix this. You don't have to die. Tears glimmered on her lashes. You don't understand. The core responds to life force. To do what must be done, it needs someone of royal blood. He stared at her, realization dawning like fire in his chest. That's why you brought me here. That's why you never wanted me to stay. I brought you here because I loved you, she whispered. But I never meant for you to see this. The ridge shuddered as the core cracked, sending waves of blue energy across the desert. Elias pulled her close, the heat searing through his uniform. If you do this, I lose you. She smiled through tears. And if I don't, everyone loses everything. He couldn't speak. His throat closed around the words. She pressed her forehead against his, the air alive with their shared warmth. You promised to love me, she murmured. Now let me keep my promise to them. Before he could stop her, she stepped back and raised her arms. Light burst from her palms, threads of silver and violet weaving toward the core. The ground split open, and the glow engulfed her. Elias shouted her name, but the roar swallowed his voice. The light flared brighter, brighter still, until it filled the night like dawn. And then silence. When the light faded, Elias was on his knees, the desert quiet around him. The core pulsed again, steady, alive. The moon shone brighter. The storm was gone. But she was gone too. Only a single crystal remained where she had stood, glowing faintly with her energy. Elias picked it up, his reflection shimmering in its depths. Her voice seemed to echo faintly through it, soft, loving, eternal. I will always be part of this world. And part of you. He carried that crystal back to the palace. The peace treaty was signed the next day. Not between armies, but between grieving hearts. Humans and Thalenians wept together beneath the new dawn, for the princess who had become their salvation. Years passed. New Avalon flourished, its skies alive with ships from both worlds. And every night, Captain Elias Ward climbed to the balcony where he had first confessed his love. He would take out the glowing crystal, feeling the faint warmth in his palm. I kept my promise, he would whisper. I still love you. The crystal would pulse once, softly, like a heartbeat. And far beneath the planet's surface, within the core of Thalen, a single whisper echoed through the endless light. I know. The ridge was silent now, the storm spent, the twin moons reflecting softly off the desert cliffs. Elias fell to his knees where Lyra had stood, the core pulsing steadily beneath the earth. The princess was gone, her form absorbed into the heart of Thalen, but a single crystal lay in the dust, glowing faintly with her essence. He picked it up, feeling warmth spread through his hand, a quiet, steady heartbeat echoing within. Her voice seemed to whisper through the light. I will always be part of this world. And part of you. Elias returned to the palace, the crystal held tightly against his chest. The peace ceremony went on as planned, human and Thalenian leaders signing the treaty. There were tears, yes, but also hope. They had lost their princess, yet she had saved them all. Each night, Elias climbed to the balcony where he had first confessed his love. The crystal glowed softly in his palm, a reminder that even across worlds, love endured. I promised to love you, he whispered into the night. I still do.